Hi everybody, this is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Thursday, August the 16th, and welcome to our video commentary. I'm sure that all of you by now have heard about Governor Cuomo and his remarks. Have become very controversial, pretty stupid remarks to say the least, but all self-inflicted. I mean, he did this to himself, and to paraphrase it, he basically said that America had never been great. I think what he was trying to say was something else, but it came out the way it did. And of course, I think he's corrected himself, and you know, that's fine with me. I don't like to dwell on these things forever. But I think there is a larger point here that I believe has to be made. And that is, why would a guy like Governor Cuomo say something like that? And I think it really comes down to President Trump. There is something called Trump Derangement Syndrome in the Democrat Party right now. And when you're somebody like Governor Cuomo and you have a challenge from the left, as he does in the New York primary, now supposedly he's going to win that challenge. But we saw what happened in the other primary where a 10 or 11 term incumbent was defeated by an unknown. So I think a lot of Democrats are worried that all this excitement and all this passion in the left will show up on election day, and you know, they may find themselves out of a job like the fellow in the Bronx, Representative Crowley, who lost to this young woman, Ocasio-Cortez, I think is her last name. But anyway, so this puts a tremendous amount of pressure on Democrat candidates to basically say things that appeal to this crazy left wing. And one of the things that many of these Democrats have to do is to constantly criticize President Trump. So if President Trump said, let's make America great again, they have to somehow be opposed to that. They have to figure out some way of saying something negative about Trump, or whatever Trump says, they have to criticize. And they have to do this constantly because they have to feed this crazy anti-Trump atmosphere in so many of these Democrat primaries. And I think that's where it comes from. It is this pressure from the left to constantly criticize President Trump. They cannot work with President Trump. They cannot sit down and negotiate with President Trump. All they can do is fight and resist President Trump. Now, I think it's a very foolish idea, and I don't think it's going to work for the Democrats, but nevertheless, that is what's happening inside the Democrat Party. So I think that's what the governor's remarks were really all about. I mean, he was, you know, sitting there, standing, probably saying, I haven't criticized President Trump in 2 minutes. What can I say to criticize President Trump again? And I think that's where a lot of this is coming from. And hopefully the Democrat Party will get over this and realize that their job is not resistance. Their job is to work with President Trump. But the Democrats are invested in resistance. The people funding the party are invested in resistance. And let's see what happens in November. But for the moment, they have to criticize Trump. They have to be against everything that Trump stands for. Even something like Make America Great Again, which is an absolutely harmless political slogan that we've heard before. Reagan used that. I remember back in 1980 or 1984, you know, Roosevelt had that one about happy days are here again. All of that stuff. It's just political rhetoric the candidates use in campaigns. Hope and change. Obama used that one. So a lot of it is meaningless, but somehow if you're a Democrat and you're running in a primary today, you have to be constantly against anything that is Trump. And I really believe that's what caused Governor Cuomo to say what he said in wherever he was speaking, debate or speech, whatever it was in New York. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these over at YouTube. We have them on my Twitter, and we have them on my blog. And if today is your birthday, August 16th, happy birthday.